Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. Now in that earlier video from earlier today, I talked about how Powell saying that the Fed isn't gonna hold Bitcoin tanked the entire market. But Black Swan capitalists pointed out something very interesting. Many think Bitcoin dumped because Jerome Powell said the Fed can't own it. That's not true. Here's your proof. The sell-off began on the 17th before Powell made any comments about Bitcoin. Markets are heavily manipulated, driven by insiders who act before the public narrative is formed. These insiders move first, and then the media crafts a story that conveniently explains the price swings. The news story comes later to justify the move. Like I've always been saying, once Tether collapses, before that even happens, BlackRock is going to be out of Bitcoin. Sailor will most likely be out of Bitcoin, and retail investors will be exit liquidity. They will get the call before it happens. That's what goes on behind the scenes in crypto, and people still have not figured that out yet. Imagine that picture how David Schwartz, Stephen Thomas, Arthur Britto, and Vitalik Buterin got together a few years ago to discuss smart contracts on the XRP ledger. David Schwartz on some reasons why Ripple decided against it based on the example of Ethereum. Take a listen.
That didn't work out. I mean, can you imagine the great things Vitalik could have accomplished at Ripple? No, but seriously, though, Vitalik had some great ideas about smart contracts on layer one. And at one point, he stayed on Stefan's couch, our CTO at the time, and he shared his ideas. And we were obviously very, very impressed that, he had a clear vision, not that far ahead of its time, as it turned out. And he actually, Stephen, Thomas, myself, Arthur Britto at times, and Vitalik talked about like bringing layer one smart contracts to our design. And interestingly enough, there were a variety of reasons why we didn't grab onto that idea back then. I guess you could argue we're a little late to the party talking about that now. But I think, it would have been, it's an interesting counterfactual to imagine if Vitalik had persuaded Stefan, Arthur, and I to build smart contracts into layer one on the XRP ledger in the early days. But I think what we were concerned with is that it would, and you can see this with Ethereum, that it causes the transaction fees to go up and it reduces the transactions per second, and it does have costs. And obviously you can argue about, obviously there's benefits as well.
And that's why there's no smart contracts on the XRP ledger. But that is also changing going into 2025. That's why we now have the advantage of the XRP ledger EVM sidechain. The sidechain makes it possible to use Ethereum-based smart contracts on the XRP ledger without affecting the main network performance. It's not going to make the transactions cost more or slow down the network, or the amount of transactions that can be processed on the XRP ledger. But that's how the XRP ledger evolved over time. But back then, Vitalik thought it was a great idea to bring smart contracts to the XRP ledger. And that was most likely somewhere around 2014, maybe even earlier, like 2013. With real-time payment capabilities combined with the ISO 222 messaging standard, smaller banks have the opportunity to deliver enhanced analytics and insights tailored to their customers' payment needs. So now it looks like the smaller banks are getting involved with real-time payments and pushing towards ISO 222. I still think that's going to be very big for a handful of cryptocurrencies. That also starts in 2025. That's why 2025 is looking like it's going to be a massive year for utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Stephen McClurg CEO of Canary Funds, lists HBAR, Litecoin, and XRP as strong cryptocurrencies with enterprise solutions coming out during Trump's crypto-friendly presidency. He shifts the narrative away from Bitcoin and starts talking about HBAR, Litecoin, and XRP. Take a listen.
But really, the bigger news isn't just price. The bigger news is actually all the enterprise solutions that are going to come out of this presidency. So it's not just Bitcoin. We've got Ripple that's building a stable coin that launches on Tuesday. We've got HBAR that's launching enterprise solutions. We've got Litecoin that is converting their chain.
So now you're starting to see the shift on the mainstream media news as well. The shift is happening. We are shifting away from hype and speculation. We're going towards utility and real world use case. And as that shift continues, you're going to see Bitcoin become more and more irrelevant over time. XRP is now the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. Explore KuCoin, Learn-In's Step Project report to discover XRP's tokenomics and the driving forces behind its rise. So KuCoin put this out about XRP. First, they compared it to XRP to Bitcoin, and it just shows you how much better XRP actually is. Then they do a history of Ripple and XRP. But then they go on to talk about actual use cases for XRP, like cross-border payments, liquidity provision, Ripple's ODL through XRP, transaction fees, how they're so much cheaper than other networks, decentralized exchange, the DEX, they talk about that, collateral for loans. You're going to be borrowing against your XRP and paying it back with passive income from maybe some XRP you're still holding or other cryptocurrencies, micropayments and streaming payments. That's huge because that is a ton of payments happening every single day. They even go on to talk about use cases including monetization, pay-per-use services, and tipping. This is how you would get paid from the time you walk into your job until the time you go home. You would be getting paid on a daily basis through micropayments, governance, and community initiatives. While the XRP ledger does not currently employ a formal governance system like some other blockchains, community-driven proposals for network upgrades and improvements often involve XRP holders. This community engagement ensures the XRP ledger evolves to meet user needs. That's what's great as well. It's usually XRP holders making a lot of the decisions around the XRP ledger, the proposals and the upgrades, potential XRP ETF. I think that's also going to come early 2025. Again, driving the price of XRP even higher. Vincent Van Code put this out earlier today, and it makes you look at what happened with the Ripple versus SEC case in a different way. There are people who think Ripple was sued to stop them from competing with the incumbent banks or Ethereum. I think that was part of it. I and a very few have an alternative theory. What if Ripple was chosen years ago when they emerged as a global technology and they got sued for the following reasons? Slow them down to allow proper vetting. Through the court filings, legally get Ripple, Brad, and Chris disclose everything about themselves to give the world the appearance that the U.S. government hadn't picked Ripple via any secret deals and is impartial company. 4, to allow the 1,000 NDAs to be established. That makes a lot of sense. It's like Ripple was chosen to go through that lawsuit with the SEC. They got regulatory clarity, legal clarity for XRP. XRP is never going to be deemed a security. Plus, I'm sure the court got to see those NDAs as well. We really don't know how many of those NDAs, who they're with. I don't think it's 1,700 NDAs. I do believe it's probably more around 800 to 1,000 NDAs that are still out there. Those are going to be big announcements once those names get dropped. But maybe this was a process that Ripple had to go through, because the US government is going to utilize Ripple and utilize XRP. I mean, come on, you have Ripple meeting with Trump over the summer. You had Ripple meeting with Trump back in 2017 and 2018. I also do believe that Ripple had to be slowed down. They were moving very fast leading up to 2020. And I don't think the world or the United States was ready for what was about to happen with RippleNet and XRP. But what are your thoughts? Put it in the comments section down below. Ripple was selected to serve on the IMF's high-level advisory group on fintech. You see it right here. And, you know, because Ripple is also chosen by the IMF and they sit on the advisory group, if an SDR is coming, you know XRP already meets everything that's needed for it to become an ESDR. We've talked about that multiple times in the past. If that was to happen, XRP would skyrocket in price like an overnight event. It would happen so quick, people would be priced out in a matter of seconds if that was to happen. And it's very well possible as well. XRP token distribution. A lot of people always talk about the escrow. So you see the token distribution right here. Ripple Labs, 6.5%. Community development and grants, 10%. Institutional investors and strategic partners, 14%. I predict that number to go much higher throughout 2025. Founders and early contributors, 20%. We're most likely in that 20%. Escrow reserve, 45%. Charitable contributions, 4.5%. I expect that escrow to most likely end up in the hands of the BIS, the IMF, the ECB, the Fed. And I think that was always the plan, even early on. But everybody acts like that escrow is holding back the price of XRP. XRP was built to serve every single person on the planet. There is going to be scarcity. You're going to have XRP locked away for so many different use cases, lending and borrowing. Then you're going to have it locked away in between countries for ODL. There's so many areas. Even companies might be locking it away for micropayments. We have not seen anything yet when it comes to XRP. RLUSD launched. This came from Andre Kosterman, and I talked about this yesterday, how RLUSD might be coming to the XDC network. And I forgot to add this in right here. Collaboration is key. Yes, I want to get there with Ripple and XDC network. So he already plans to bring RLUSD to the XDC network. That's very big. XDC is built to, it's going to be the #1 token inside of digital trade. And as that happens, as digital trade starts to expand all around the world, I see XDC having a fantastic run-up. I think it's easily going to be a $50 to $100 token early on. I think it's going to happen that quick because that's a multi-trillion-dollar market as well. U.S. tax changes set for 2025 mean digital asset holders should consider these 5 strategies to protect their wealth. We have not got away with crypto taxes yet. I mean, the IRS is still out there waiting for their tax money from 2024. That's why I said, don't sell any of your XRP until we see what happens in 2025. because there's a good chance that Trump does away with the capital gains tax on U.S. companies and U.S. cryptocurrencies. But they're saying the plan like this: draft digital asset specific estate plans. You should always plan to leave your crypto to someone else. Anything can happen at any moment. Capitalize on gift exclusions and lifetime gifting. So they're also saying make sure you gift some of your crypto away. Gift it to your heirs or placing it in a trust can lock in tax savings before exemptions are reduced in 2026. Charitable remainder trust also allow for tax advantage transfers, benefiting both heirs and philanthropic causes. Embrace multi-signature wallets and collaborative custody. So there's so many ways that you can plan for your crypto for once you're gone, and also to get out of some of those taxes you might have to pay on your crypto. But I always tell people, make sure you're reporting your crypto, because if you're not reporting it, the exchanges are reporting it for you. We just seen a guy get jail time for crypto that he didn't report all the way back in 2018. I'm sure the IRS is looking back at a lot of the people that didn't pay their taxes on their crypto. And everybody always said, well, crypto's the wild, wild west. The IRS has no clue what you're doing. They absolutely know what you're doing. And the exchanges are making sure of that. Financial advisor survey on crypto. 59% do not invest in or plan to in the future. 26% don't invest in now, but expect to in the future. 12% use crypto based on client request. 3% use crypto on advisor recommendation. If there's a financial advisor out there and you plan to use a financial advisor, if they're not talking to you about crypto, you're talking to the wrong financial advisor. Crypto is where the money is. You're not going to make money in the stock market unless you already have a lot of money. Financial advisors that don't embrace crypto going into 2025 are most likely going to be out of work, because we are going to become a massive crypto hub here in the United States. And financial advisors are either going to get on board or they're going to get left behind as well. But I used to call up financial advisors back when I first started this channel and ask them about crypto. And maybe back then, 1 or 2 out of 10 would talk about crypto. And the fall of FTX was happening back then. So could you really blame them? But I mean, now we're at a much different time in crypto. And we are headed into a time where crypto is going to be all over the mainstream media news. Financial advisors need to get on board or they will get left behind. But we're XRP investors, and we are about to make a shit ton of money going into 2025. But make sure you don't sell too soon. Always look at what's coming for XRP, what Ripple's planning in the short term. Even if alt season looks like it's ready to top out, make sure you read the narrative that's happening at that same time. Because I think we could possibly be looking at a utility run in 2025. But until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.